In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Detail Co. Infinity Ceramic Sealant, which I'm told is supposed to be the ultimate for your ceramic sealant needs per the marketing on the website. Our friends at the House of Rags were very kind enough to send me this bottle to test out, as well as a ceramic coating that we'll get to in a later video. I'm really excited to test this out, can't wait to see what it does. We'll put it through my full battery of tests, including durability, slickness, visual appeal, specular reflection, all the usual stuff. Let's get at it and see how well this thing performs. For the first test, I'm gonna apply this spray sealant to my test hood here. I bought this thing at a junkyard a few years ago. It's got a few scratches, but I polish it for every test with Meguiar's 205, decontaminated with isopropyl alcohol and an APC. The first step is always to make sure that the product is emulsified by shaking everything up, and then we're gonna apply it to a terry cloth, spread it around, and wipe it off. Just like every other sealant out there, it seems very simple, but we'll find out if it's actually that easy. I may have actually used a little bit more than I needed. So you see what I mean by that. It will just start to streak if you use a little too much. Even if I use the wet side here, I'm really struggling to clean this product up. And you can see how just with 3 spritzes into a microfiber, it can become pretty difficult to remove this from your paint. As long as you keep going over the surface, you can get rid of that haziness, that streaking. So obviously 3 sprays was a little too much. It took me some effort to get all of that streaking off. I think I did get all of it. I'll show you the scoring on the screen now, but essentially the way I do this test is I rank it from a -10 to a +10. It's a bit subjective, but it's my opinion on how well the product performs when it's installed, how easy it is to apply, how easy it is to remove. This product, I think, is a little challenging. You saw me have to use a lot of elbow grease to get all of that off. A novice user, somebody only familiar with very forgiving spray sealants, may really have problems applying this product. And I do compare products within their category. So you might say, well, a coating could be more challenging than this. And that's true. However, this is a spray sealant. They're typically meant to be quite easy. A lot of novice users tend to use them. So that's going to be my score for this category. Now we're going to figure out just how hydrophobic the Detail Co. Ceramic Sealant is by putting this test plate that I've already treated with the product some time ago in this optical contact angle meter that I designed, which features a light at this end, a microscope at the other end, and a micropipetter that delivers tiny drops of deionized water, which will go on top of this plate, and then computer software will calculate the contact angle. That's the angle between the flat surface and the droplet, to tell us exactly how hydrophobic it is and give us a score. I'm gonna place the first of 5 drops onto the plate, which will give us our first measurement that we're gonna average. We'll get the focus dialed in, take a quick picture. I finished all the computer work. As you can tell, the lights are back on. Let's take a look at some screenshots from the Detail Co. while I talk about the scoring and where this product came in. Between the 5 samples, I found that the product averaged 96.7 degrees of contact angle. In scientific terms, anything over 90 degrees is considered hydrophobic. For me, this will give it a score of 5, which puts it in the good category. It's not excellent, it's not a hydrophobicity monster, but it will absolutely bead water on your paint and help it come off of that surface, leaving you less cleaning to do, less chances of water spots, and overall good performance during washes. Having removed the tape and allowed the product some time to cure, we can take a look and figure out, is it pretty? Now, this is super subjective. I'm basically giving you my opinion, again, -10 to +10, and I'm trying to determine visually, do I see that depth? Do I see that gloss? I've tested, I don't even know how many products at this point, and it's very clear to me when they're performing well. In this case, there's a very clean line right here, and the product actually looks pretty fantastic on the red. I'll show it to you up close. I did leave a little tape at the top so that maybe it'll be a little easier to see on YouTube. Unfortunately, YouTube has some limitations in its ability to fully show you the colors. Now, in this test, we also averaged the score against the black test panel that I'll show you in a second. Red is a difficult color to really make look pretty and pop. It's already bright, it's shiny, and this product really does add a ton of depth and gloss. I think it looks fantastic. I would absolutely give it a 10 on the red. And now you can see the black test panel, which I've already applied the product to and allowed it to cure. a few days ago, and you can tell it looks absolutely stunning. It's very pretty on the black, possibly even prettier than on the red. Absolutely a 10 on this panel as well. You can ignore the other side. I do test 2 products at a time on these panels, so it'll be in a different video. Overall, between these 2 panels, the product is definitely a 10 in looks. I think it's stunning when it's applied. Down below in the description, there are affiliate links to products that I like, tools we might have used in the video, and if you click through and purchase anything at all from those links, I receive a small commission that helps me make videos like the one you're watching today. Also, if you've been enjoying the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and leave me a nice comment. I'd love to talk to all of you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video. Slickness that's imparted by products like waxes, sealants, and coatings are an important part to helping maintain your finish. They provide some inherent lubricity as you're working on your vehicle, whether that's washing, detailing, dusting, it all helps. You ideally want a slick surface. Well, we want to figure out just how slick this Detail Co sealant is, and to do that, we need to measure the static coefficient of friction. That measurement's pretty simple. We're going to use a device to measure how much gram force it takes to get this 1,040 gram block to move. Once it moves, we'll record the number, we'll do the test 5 times, we'll average it out, work out our coefficient of friction, and then give it a score. We've got 100 grams, that's 0.10 kilograms, so 100 grams. 80 grams, how about number 3? 70 grams, 100 grams this time, and let's get the final pull, 80 grams again. Some of you may wonder if it matters how long I pull the block. It doesn't, because once the block is moving, it takes less force to move it than to get it free. So we see we got 430 grams, let's divide it by 5 to average, and that's 86 grams on average. To get our coefficient, it's very straightforward. We just divide by 1,040 the weight of our block, and we see that the coefficient of friction, the static coefficient of friction, is 0.08 rounded down. And in our scoring, 0.08 gives it a 10. This is an incredibly slick product. It will definitely help provide the lubricity you need when you're working on your vehicle. For our next test, we'll find out just how shiny the Detail Co sealant is, having been applied to the black panel. Now, the black panel itself reads 88 gloss units when it's been polished with my Meguiar's 205, same process I use on the test hood. We've applied the product now, and we can use my gloss meter to see if that number has gone up or down, and we will figure out the delta, the difference between the 2 numbers, and either give or take away points on that basis. Keep in mind, specular reflection isn't the same as depth and pop. It's not quite the same as looking with your eyes. A product could be very pretty, but it could have less shine. As usual, we'll be taking 5 readings at 20 degrees, and 20 degrees is the appropriate setting to use for high gloss surfaces. So I see we've got 86 gloss units there. It went down a little bit as I picked it up, but I'll give it the 86. Looks like 86.3, 86.6. We've got 84.4 now. Oh, 84.6, I'll give it that. And let's do a final reading here. I'm seeing 86.2. Now, just for fun, let's do a section that's in our control, this middle strip, and you'll be able to see what the gloss readings there are like. And see 87.7, and keep in mind, when I say 88, that's an average. So clearly we are losing some gloss with this Detail Co ceramic sealant. Let's figure out how much. So we'll divide this number by 5, and we got 85.94. Let's subtract 88, and it means we lost 2.1 rounded up gloss units. That means in our case, we're gonna remove 2.1 points from the score for the Detail Co sealant. It just didn't increase the shine, although it looks beautiful. And unfortunately, some beautiful products do reduce some of that specular reflection. They might not be quite as reflective and bright. All this device does is it shines light at a 20-degree angle and then picks it up and sees how much light is lost. Now we're gonna find out just how durable the Detail Co ceramic sealant is. I know durability is a huge factor for many of you out there. Unless you have a show car that you wax every time it goes out, you probably want a product that lasts at least for some amount of washes. So we're gonna see in my objective and repeatable test how long that Detail Co ceramic sealant can last. And before we do that, let's just see what the base hydrophobicity looks like when we spray it with the hose. You can see the product is definitely hydrophobic. We have that control strip in the middle. I'm locking the test panel into this silicometer. What this machine does is it passes a terry-covered applicator back and forth in a repeatable pattern at right about 30 RPM, and it dispenses shampoo at the same time, which provides the lubrication and simulates the wash. I'm gonna show you the scoring on the screen now, and I bucket this into washes. So if it passes 10 washes, 20 washes, 50 washes, 100 washes, and so on, and if the product continues to work, it gets at least that minimal amount of points. An important thing to keep in mind is this is a durability test, not a longevity test. I'm not seeing how long the product works in the real world. I'm seeing how it resists abrasion from being washed with a bunch of lubrication, just like a car wash. With 10 washes out of the way, let's see if the Detail Co. ceramic sealant still beads. I would say that looks like beading to me. It definitely passed the 10 washes. We're gonna bump it up to 20 washes. Let's see how it goes. We're 20 washes in. Is the Detail Co. ceramic sealant still beading? So I am definitely starting to see a wear pattern developing. Well, let's see if it makes it to 50. We're 50 scrubs in. Let's take a look at the Detail Co. ceramic sealant. It's pretty much identical as the clear coat now. Any more passes and we're gonna be eating through the clear coat. I think we gotta call this one a 20. We've had a chance to test out the Infinity ceramic sealant. It's gone through all the tests. I'm a little tired. Let's find out what this product was like to use and what are its strengths and what are its weaknesses, whether or not you should buy it. To start with the positives, I wanna talk about how pretty this product is. It truly blew me away. It's incredibly beautiful, dark and rich on the black, but more impressively, it made the red look great too. And it's hard to make those kind of colors pop. Those are bright colors. Red is just, for most products, that's a difficult area. Usually when I see stumbling in the visual appeal, it's almost always on the lighter colored panel. Occasionally you see it the other way around, but virtually always red is a big challenge. So kudos to the guys. Amazing job on making a beautiful looking product. Furthermore, the slickness is out of this world. It scored top marks. It came in at a 0.08 on the static coefficient of friction. That is incredibly slick. It is a top performing product in slickness. However, as with all things, there were a few issues that I didn't care for that much. For me, application was probably the biggest bummer. I just didn't think that the product is easy to use. Now, to be fair, if you do use a smaller amount, like one single spritz, and you gotta make sure that the rag is wet, whatever you're using, it has to be a little bit damp. I think I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the video. But in further testing, if I sprayed just one spray in there and then apply it, it's much less of a challenge. But even then, I was still finding myself buffing more than with a typical spray sealant. So I can't really say that this is an easy to use product. And my concern would be that many users who buy something like this, especially because the instructions don't really call out like, hey, you gotta use a tiny amount, it would be a challenge for a beginner user especially. They're gonna spray this on their car or they're gonna spray too much on the towel and it's gonna be a mess for them to clean up. It should call that out much more in the instructions, or perhaps there's some reformulation that could be done. The product also did lose a tiny bit of specular reflection, and we are now using that black panel, which steps down the gloss, so more products are able to gain in specular reflection, and this still did lose a little bit. However, it is not uncommon for such beautiful products in terms of depth and richness to suffer from loss of that shine. The specular reflection sometimes goes down. An ideal product would do both. Not a big deal to me. I don't think 2 gloss units is that big of an issue. Most people would struggle to see the difference at 2 gloss units. All that being said, the product did prove itself hydrophobic. It was over that 90-degree contact angle, so definitely something that will help repel water. And the durability was okay. I know it came in at 20, but look, it's a spray sealant. Not all of these spray sealants are coming in with huge numbers in durability. Furthermore, a lot of spray sealants that are incredibly durable aren't necessarily that long-lasting due to environmental factors. I think if you're using a spray product, you're probably not expecting to have it go for years like a coating might. I think if you're okay knowing you gotta just be real careful during application and you want something that looks incredibly beautiful, absolutely try this out. It is rare for me to see a spray sealant that can yield those kind of looks. It's truly impressive. That is one thing I hope if they do reformulate this or anything, guys, if you do it, don't lose that gloss, or not the gloss, the visual appeal. Don't lose that visual appeal. It's truly amazing. So I think that would be my verdict on it. If you want the looks, absolutely try this. If you want something super easy to use, maybe not the product for you. If you're new to my channel, I do these kind of nerdy test videos very frequently. I also mod cars, do car fixes, general detailing videos. There's something here for everyone if you're an auto enthusiast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, click like if you enjoyed the video, and make sure to leave me something down below in the comments. If you use this product, maybe you're interested in other products, share your experiences. We can all benefit from working together. I hope to hear from you and see you again soon in a future video.